This is the Four-Man Rush. Hello, Panther fans, and welcome to another podcast of the Four-Man Rush. I'm your host, Timmy V.O., here with Kevin, Larry, and Will. Might have a couple of other of the Four-Man Rush contributors coming on later on, and we'll let you know when that happens, all right? We're sitting at 0-2, folks. It's not quite like we thought it was going to turn out. Granted, we lost 2 games by a total of less than 7 points. I think that really adds more frustration to the pot, but that's okay. We're going to keep pounding, all right? And we're going to give you guys the real insight on what the hell happened on Thursday and what to expect on Sunday. Even though Cam won't be playing, more than likely, we do have somebody who has been in the fray, so to say, and came out with a victory in New Orleans. So we're going to talk about that. Well, all right, but first we'll start with Thursday night, which was atrocious, to say the least. And, you know, I'm not going to spend much time on that. We're just going to go ahead and get the fellas involved in this and break this down so you guys can get some real football insight on what the hell happened on Thursday. God almighty, that sucked. Anyway, all right, so we're going to start with Larry, and then we're going to go to Will, and then we're going to go over to Kevin, right? And we're just going to talk about Thursday, fellas. Larry, go ahead and start us off, man.
I'll go ahead and start us off, man. I want to talk about, you know, what I love the most, and that's the trenches. Cam Newton is getting a whole lot of flack this week. They think he's done, he's hurt, he's inaccurate. All his passes are way beyond receivers. So you know what we do here at Four-Man Rush. We go back and look at the tape.
Yep.
What I noticed first and foremost, after watching the full 60 minutes of football, every single throw that was way off target was not a result of bad mechanics. It was not a result of Cam overthinking. These are all the assumptions that people are making. But every single one of those off throws was because my quarterback had absolutely no time to develop and throw the ball. I mean, I'll start with Darrell Williams. He had a perfect first half. I did my grades. He had one negative play in the first half. First half was all pro worthy. It was flawless. Second half, he just came out like a completely different player. I mean, he gave up like 3 sacks in the second half alone, 3 negative plays back to back. It was just a horrendous outing in the second half for Darrell Williams. Then I move over to Taylor Moton. Nobody's talking about Moton because he had such a good year last year, but he had a lot of negative plays last Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just, for Moton, it was either an exceptional play where you like, wow, this guy is great, or was a play where you just don't know what he's doing out there. You know, there's no consistency. It's either good play or bad play. Good play, bad play, bad play. There was a series where he had a holding call and a false start and back-to-back plays. And that's just talking about the tackles. When it comes to the interior, Paradis got abused all game long.
Abused.
You can call him Vita Vea's side chick. You know, he just got abused all game long.
Straight abused.
Turner had some bad moments where, you know, getting thrown out of the way. I wasn't pleased with Trey Turner. He's a Pro Bowler year in, year out. I expect a better play from him. Van Roten actually played the best, and he even had his struggles. But any quarterback you talk about, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, Pat Mahomes, you know, the way you defeat those guys is you bring pressure right up in their face. And Cam Newton got that all night long. I'm very displeased with the way the offensive line played. And I think that was pretty much the difference of the game. You know, the game, like I say every week to you guys, it starts in the trenches.
All week.
And the offensive line didn't get it done.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's where I stand right now.
Will, what's your take, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the same thing pretty much from the offensive line, especially, you know, Darrell Williams. He's not a natural left tackle. You know, I never believed he was. I thought drafting Greg Little, I thought it was his job to lose, but I just think he just didn't display much during preseason to really take that job from Darrell. Then he had the concussion. protocol later on, so he just never was able to step in and take that spot. So I think with him coming back, hopefully we can see him compete, and hopefully I think I'd rather go through growing pains with Greg Little than Darrell Williams, who we know what we have at that position already. But as far as Cam goes, it was like 3 minutes left, I think, in the second quarter where he tried to scramble right. Offensive line broke down, of course, but Cam kind of re-aggravated that foot injury. And then what I noticed, when you can really see it in all 22, is that he just couldn't step into his throw. He couldn't plant that left foot down. He was kind of tapping his toe and trying to hop in and hobble in a little bit. So when you look at a lot of those off-target throws later in the game, I just think that was the result of not being able to plant his foot and deliver the ball. But before that, he was looking pretty sharp. He had a couple of nice throws in there. So I think, Cam's health is just a concern now. And I think, it's just when you look at how the season started, just the worst case scenarios happening right now. You don't want to start the season off with 0-2, losing 2 home games, and your quarterback's going to start missing time. So, we dug ourselves a little hole here. But I think, I like how the defense is starting to come together. I think they'll just continue to improve as we get through the season. We're going to have to lean on them a little bit until we get our quarterback, up and running and healthy again. So, we'll see. I'm not ready to give up after 2 games, obviously, but, we got an uphill battle to salvage the season going forward.
That's true. Mr. Avery, your diagnosis, sir.
Yeah, my diagnosis is pretty much going inside with everything that's already been said. Just the fact that being there was hype. The energy was good for a Thursday night. Could have been better. It wasn't the best crowd there. You know how the fans are when, we didn't win Sunday. I kind of already knew since we didn't win Sunday, we wasn't going to pack the house Thursday. But in any event, I'm like Larry, man. I love the trenches, and I'm gonna talk about the other side for a little bit, the defensive line side. Honestly, when we get this thing clicking, it's gonna be something to really behold, fellas, because our defensive line was rearranging Tampa's line of scrimmage backwards on a consistent basis. Yeah, their running backs got some nice moves here and there, but if we're talking about continuously throughout the game, Panthers defensive line was putting in work. We was winning some one-on-one matchups. We ended up with only about 3 sacks and had about 7 tackles for losses. So not bad, could have been better. I just think that and again, I'm not really a coverage knowledgeable guy like that, but I just feel like once we're given an opportunity to go man and lock up and make things difficult for these receivers to get so freely open, I really think we're going to see the best out of our defensive front, whether it's a 40 front, 30 front, whatever hybrid mix is going to be put together. I just really think that the defense is going to be ready. And as Tim just mentioned, it's going to have to carry the load. Let me flip back to the offensive line side for a moment. Man, that was just hard to watch on the all 22. I will rewind it. I shake my head and I rewind it again and just be like, what happened? This is not what I saw in camp. This is not what I saw. But, the bullet's alive now. So this ain't teammates. These are grown men that's getting paid on the other side to make your life hell. So, it is what it is. Darrell Williams just allowed what's his name from the Buccaneers to have Shane Barrett have a career day. 3 sacks, 8 quarterback pressures by himself. Now, mind you, I just told you we had what we had as a team. This man by himself had 3 sacks and 8 quarterback pressures.
Oh, man.
By himself. So that should tell you a lot about how bad of a day Darrell Williams had. As a unit, I trust Coach Masco, to really get us right, but something is not transferring over from the practice fields to the game. I don't know what it is. I don't know what type of adjustments are or are not being made. I'm not throwing in the towel at 0-2. Hell no. I waited 8 months for this to happen, and I'd be damned if I just throw up a white flag because didn't get to start. It ain't how you start, it's how you finish. Personally, I'm a guy that believes, strong face, strong finish. So I'm definitely riding out with this team But this chance to go on the road at Arizona, get away from Charlotte, get away from all the noise, all the criticism, all the disappointment, and just focus on this game. Even without Cam, which I don't think he's going to play, I see us have an opportunity to get right. But definitely against the Bucks, we're gonna check them in London. That's how I feel.
Yeah, you look at that offense, man. Like Norv Turner got a lot of criticism for this game, and I just don't understand it. Because why is Cam throwing 51 times when you watch how Tampa Bay was defending us? I mean, they were loading the box, putting 8 guys in the box, playing man press coverage on the outside. So Norv was trying to give our young receivers that we've been excited about and hyping up all offseason a chance to go out there and make plays. But if your quarterback doesn't have enough time to get the ball deep, and then, midway through the second quarter, now he's hurt his foot and can't step into his throws to deliver those passes, we can't beat that press coverage that the Bucs were throwing at us. So I just think it's a result. The 51 passes was just a result of Norv trying to get them off of us and let Curtis Samuel. I mean, Curtis Samuel really should have had 200-plus yards this game. He was consistently beating his man, getting open, getting behind. That first ball should have been a touchdown, actually. So
he had to turn around and catch it, man.
Yeah. So I just think, we just missed. I hate to say, sound like Ron Rivera, but there's so many
what happened, Will?
missed opportunities, we had so many chances to really attack that defense and make explosive plays, but, we need that offensive line, and especially with Norv Turner's offense, he puts a lot of strain on the tackles. So, it's just something that you got to keep looking out for. We're going to get better play from our tackles going forward.
We got to.
And, to add to Kevin's point, we had all this to say about Darrell Williams. All of that stuff happened in the second half. Like, he looked like a completely different player from the first half to the second half. Those 8 pressures, those 3 sacks, all that stuff happened second half. He was flawless almost in the first half. Like, what happened besides the rain delay? What happened in the locker room for Darrell Williams to be one player in the first half and come out and be a completely different player in the second half? To me, that just screams that, guys aren't making the right adjustments. The best football teams, they make halftime adjustments, and the greatest football teams make play-to-play adjustments. And Darrell didn't come out and he wasn't the same player in the second half at all. So, I know we had a preseason where there were injuries that guys are coming back from. We rarely had time to develop that cohesiveness that the offensive line needs to have. And I'm going to leave that as the problem. We just don't have the cohesiveness. We don't have the continuity. We don't have the chemistry on the offensive line yet. Yeah. And you just want to hope that we develop it, because that's the only way that's going to save this season. We got to have that chemistry on the offensive line, and I just don't see it. Some guys are playing nasty. Some guys are playing passive. You just can't have that. Everybody's got to be on the same accord. They got to be on the same page, and we just don't have that. So even the win at Arizona, guys got to be on the same page. Those 5 guys, whoever it is, whatever rotation it is, guys got to be on the same exact page, and we just don't have that yet. And we didn't have the opportunity in the offseason to develop that.
Yeah. But I noticed that stood out to me is like Vita Vea was working Paradis on the interior. So you got Greg Van Roten. He's going to help on Vita Vea, or he's going to help Darrell with a Shaq Barrett. And, to me, Vita's much more of a threat to me. I would hope my starting left tackle will be able to handle Shaquille Barrett. Nothing against Barrett. Personally, he's a solid player, but I don't think he's just such a dominant edge that we can't leave our tackle in one-on-one situations against him. So it's the fact that he was able to get, 8 pressures and 3 sacks working in those one-on-one situations, that just tells me we just need a change at that left tackle position. I mean, we're going to have guys on the interior, your Grady Jarrett type players that, Van Roten's going to have to help Paradis with these guys. He can't handle them on his own. So, a left tackle's got to be a big boy and handle these one-on-one matchups with these edge players.
What do y'all answer that? Whoever. Tell me why this man was perfect in the first half, but terrible in the second. Just tell me.
I don't know if he got beside himself or what, but it just, I didn't see nothing scheme-wise that Tampa Bay did differently.
Well, I would say,
go ahead, Tim.
To be honest with you, from what I seen, I didn't watch all 22. I just watching the game, especially in the second half. It seems to me that he hit a wall. right? He ran out of gas in some way, shape, or form. He just ran out of gas. It seemed like his torso was always leaned over the whole time. Like he couldn't get his arms or his hands on Barrett at all, right? And when he did, he just got tossed to the side, man. He could not maintain contact for anything. Excuse me. That's what it seemed like to me. He just hit a wall, dude, and he never recovered, right? And then
you're on the right track. That's what it is. His feet stop moving upon contact, so he gets beat with that speed rush around the corner. And I think if I were to have one criticism of Darrell Williams from what I watched from him, it's his feet. So that's, I think that's what kind of, I know Greg Little's kind of underdeveloped now, but I think he got
better footwork
and the length to be more effective at that position. So if Darrell's going to struggle like this, I just let me go through growing pains with my rookie and let him get development and go through the fire, and let's see what we got in him. The guy we traded up for that we were hoping would be that starter this year.
Right. Let's do something, man. So I know one thing, one good bit of news, a couple things actually. That Hokey Bird, our kicker, he was putting in work, and that was a good thing to see. And Luke balled the hell out. Luke balled his butt off. Thank God. And Shaq had a decent game too. So which one of you guys want to talk about D-Jax getting burned on that that outside in route? That basically it's almost like a skinny post bang 8 kind of thing. Was it footwork? So he just didn't get his hips around right. What happened on that situation?
It was a couple of them. The first one, it's just footwork with defending those bang 8 routes, playing that outside leverage. The second one, it looked like he got aggressive. He tried to come underneath and make a play on the ball, but he misjudged a little bit. I mean, the Rams were hitting them with those bang 8s as well. So, I mean, they're going to keep attacking them with that over and over again going forward. So, he just got to learn how to better cover those things. Now, watching it live, I had some complaints that I wish we let them play more press, but, the film don't lie. I watched all 22, and Dante was in man coverage a lot, actually, more than I expected. And on that first play of the game, he was in press coverage, and Godwin was able to turn him around on that out route, and they were able to beat him for 22 yards early on. So I just think Dante needs to just become more disciplined with his footwork. I think guy running a 4.3 comes from DBU. We saw a little bit of, how he acts on the all or nothing series. I just think he's a guy he's always been the fastest and quickest guy on the field. Now that he's going against guys that can match him athletically, he's got to focus more on technique now. Yes. And I think that's what he's failing to grasp right now.
Yes. Well said. Yeah, guys, ladies, whatever, you guys listen to this podcast. If you have children that are just dominating at the Pop Warner level, whatever, going into high school, make sure. Now, I know it's going to be hard to do, but try. Just try your darndest. You'll save you a headache down the road. Make sure that they work with somebody who has a really, really solid skill set when it comes to techniques, because they won't hit this wall. Hopefully, if they do make the pros, and I hope they do, if they do make it to the pros, they're not going to hit this wall when they come into contact with other cats that can play. Because when it gets to the league, it's almost an even playing field. It's all about technique and pretty much a discipline aspect of going in there and with like what they say, a hard hat and your lunch pail and going to work, man. It's a whole totally different skill set. So make sure you're working technique with these kids, man. Come on, people. Come on.
Another thing about you can go ahead.
Go ahead, Larry.
Dante Jackson was my favorite pick in the draft a couple of years ago. Yeah. He's one of my favorite players on the team. And it's very disappointing for me because I expect him to play at an elite level. And the fact that it's not talent, it's not will, none of that. It's just the fact that he's not focused. I mean, that really, really, really bothers me because he has the talent to be, even a second-round pick, he has the talent to be the best corner in the league.
Yeah. And
you saw on All or Nothing, guys are trying to help him, and he's not receptive to criticism at all. Like,
yeah.
It's gonna be a problem going forward. Like I've been disgusted with his play because I watched the Rams game, and they ran the same route on him multiple times.
Yeah.
And then the Bucks did what we did. They went home and sat down and watched some damn film. And they picked on him with the same exact route. He gave up a touchdown on the same exact route. It's just unacceptable to me. I just hope Dante listens to this podcast. Like, bro, step it up.
For real, bro. For real.
Focus on your craft. Focus on the details. Own in on your craft. It's not hard.
It's not.
I got 3 kids. I go to school. I still sit down and watch Panther film, and I'm not getting paid for it. You're getting paid to do what you're supposed to do.
Tell him.
This is all a fact that he's not watching film. I'm not gonna say he's not watching film, but he's not trying to fix his flaws.
No, man.
And I have a problem with that. It bothers me. I just want him to know that, man. It's really bothering me that he getting beat on stuff that's fixable.
And on top of that, Larry, that touchdown, did Larry go?
I think he fell off on that.
But
he was that mad that he had to cool off for a minute.
But hey, guys, if you remember Atlanta first game last year, what was it that they ran in the red zone on D-Jack that caught his ass for that touchdown?
Slant route,
skinny post slant route. The same freaking move on the same side of the field. On the same side of the field too, bro. I mean, it is frustrating. Larry's right, bro. It is hella frustrating. Go ahead, Kevin.
And while we're calling out secondaries, let's do our due diligence, fellas. I mean, he wasn't the only one having some struggles because Javion Elliott, the one that was, I guess you would call a training camp star when he came in and was picking everything off. I saw him looking lost and confused out there. Again, I don't know if it's the struggle from, trying to fit into the zone scheme concepts, but, he had some bad plays that gave us some costly first downs. Let's talk about Eric Reed. I mean, hey, that's our guy, and we all support Eric Reed, both on and off the field for what that counts. But on the field, bruh, damn what Jay-Z doing, you know what I'm saying, bro? I need you to reintroduce yourself on the field. You're someone with Pro Bowl caliber talent, and I need to see you lower the boom legally. Let me get that in there. Lower the boom and make plays on the ball. And I've yet to see a signature, Eric Reed performance yet. He hasn't stunk it up, but he hasn't brought that full capability that we know he's capable of. He had a full off season. Mm-hmm. He moved his family here to Charlotte. Mm-hmm. He worked out. He was able to really fully digest the playbook. He didn't play well. And my God, Trey Boston, yeah, he's fast and he takes angles, but Lord of mercy, he's hit or miss still. Look like these angles are still something that, boy, hey, man, if that's the last line of defense, all I can say is we got our Hail Marys and our Fathers, boy, because, the other guys in our group, our contributors, Vince and Jadarius, boy, they were heated. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's true.
Hey, there's, the entire secondary can definitely use some improvement up because with what we about to face Sunday with his 10 personnel. Oh yeah. What happened Thursday night cannot be what's on the field. So, I just want to make sure that's known that D-Jack wasn't the only one that struggled within our secondary Thursday night.
Right.
With all this talk about the defense, though, I mean, we gave up 20 points. They got stops. They got a safety and made plays when they needed it to. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think the defense has overall played well. We're finding individual plays that stood out where, they messed up, like that long touchdown one. I thought that was a poor effort by a lot of people. Trey Boston just come in diving for nothing. You see them dreads flying all over the place, not getting a body on anybody.
Tackling grass.
So, I mean, I just think, it's just these are isolated plays that we're talking about. I think overall the units played pretty decent. And I just think once it gels together, I think it'll be a pretty solid unit that we put out there on the field. I mean, I think, we get back to, we haven't even mentioned Brian Burns. I really like what I'm seeing from him and Marquise Haynes as well.
Yeah.
I think these young edge players are, making a stand, playing very well early on this year. So I think there's a lot of good things. I think Shaq's finally looking like the Shaq we expected. Mm-hmm. He's come into his own. I think he's been the second best player on the defense behind Luke so far
I agree.
this year. So, we'll see, man. I mean, plus, as far as the safety goes, think about, we're talking about these bang eights, those skinny post routes. With Dante playing outside leverage like that, he's expecting some help on that inside. Where's the safety been on those skinny posts? So you just need a collective effort from everybody to help make this defense better.
Definitely. And real quick.
Well, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, and real quick, just to get out a couple of stats. Luke Kuechly, 17 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss. Shaq Thompson, 8 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. I mean, we was just talking about, the linebacker play. A lot of people were, wondering how Shaq would do. Well, this is back-to-back games. Shaq Thompson, when playing just strictly at linebacker, is putting work and making impact plays. So I think that the best is yet to come from this duo.
Now, it's important to focus on the positive, and I'm with y'all 100% because the defense has played better than they did last year if you look at it as a whole. But I'm not going to take it off for Luke either because he dropped the interception that was his. I don't know if everybody remember that, but
yeah, he had both hands
he
on that
got
thing.
both hands on the ball. That was a turnover that he didn't come up with. So we can't put all the blame on the offense. Those big impact plays that we need, that we had in 15 where the defense was actually scoring points too, you still need that from them. And, Luke did come up short on the interception. But I watched the young guys closely last game. I spent the whole hour just watching the edges. I got to watch Burns, I got to watch Haynes, I got to watch Miller, I got to watch Obata, and I got to watch Addison, who's been here for a while. But you would think Addison had the best game, but honestly, he didn't. He didn't have a bad game. He had a lot of positive plays. But, we got a lot of value out of that pick in the first round with Brian Burns. He had an exceptional game. He had a few negative plays, but that's just him learning how to play in the NFL, gap control and stuff like that. But he was consistently a nuisance for the quarterback. When Miller got his limited reps, he had the least reps out of all the young guys, but he made the most of them. He got a couple of quarterback pressures. Obata is learning a new position. Sometimes he has to kick in and play the 3 technique. He does that pretty well for a guy that never had to do it before. He's doing it pretty well. And Haynes has stepped up incredibly. Just like Will said, these young guys, if you got to look for any bright spot on the defense, it comes down to these young guys because they're all playing very, very well. When Bruce Irvin gets back, of course, he's going to get his fair share of reps. But listen, these young guys are challenging him. They really are. I want to see Burns on the field as much as possible because he's shown that he's capable. Him and Haynes alone have improved drastically in the run game. They're not getting blown off the ball. They're holding their gap responsibility. They're actually strong at the point of attack. And these guys only weigh, 250, 260? They don't weigh a whole lot. And they really, really, really are doing a good job of being strong at the point of attack. So I give a lot of credit to these young guys, man. I just hope they keep getting better. The defense as a whole, we got a couple of lapses. We talked about Dante, but as a whole, the potential is through the roof. This can be a top 5 defense when it's all said and done.
And one thing, Larry, one of your favorites, Dante Poe, we gave him hell for not playing. He came to play Thursday night. I know defensive lineman stats don't tell the whole story. They just got him down for 2 tackles, 1 sack, and a tackle for loss. But he was definitely disrupting the middle of the Tampa Bay offensive line. So if we can give him hell when he ain't well, we got to sing him praises, when he do right. And, so far this year, and I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Dante Poe now that he's back playing that natural nose tackle position for us. So he really stood out to me. So definitely want to make sure we gave him props so people know that Poe came ready to play.
I agree with you 100%. Those interior guys all around. KK had a really good game, but he was almost the weakest link, and he had a good game. McCoy and Burns are the first guys off the snap in pretty much every single play you watch. McCoy was extremely disruptive, and so was Poe. And then KK did his thing as well. So I agree with you, man. Poe Poe is the guy that we signed. Like he's playing like the guy that we signed initially. We expected him to have last year. He's showing us that this year. So I'm completely appreciative of the interior rush. Completely. I think those guys are doing an outstanding job. To be honest with you, I just wanted to continue. Like, how long can we make this job? I need them to hold themselves up to a certain standard long enough so we can put all of it together, so we can be a dominant defense.
Well, we'll have our opportunity on Sunday when we go to good old Arizona and run up against them daggum Cardinals. This is not going to be an easy task. Even though they have a rookie quarterback, if you folks haven't done your homework on Mr. Murray, you better look at that kid. He is special. That arm, it's hard to believe it comes out of that little dude, man. That ball comes out with some seriousness. It's crazy. Of course, Fitzgerald is still a part of the team, and so obviously let's talk about the Cardinals and what we need to do to make sure we bring a W back to Charlotte after we leave Arizona. Will, let's start with you, and then we'll go to Larry and then Kevin.
Well, just some background. The Cardinals drafted a quarterback in the first round last year, Josh Rosen. But then Steve Wilks, our former defensive coordinator, was their head coach. They had a bad year. Rosen just wasn't productive for them. They had offensive line problems. I don't think it was all his fault. I still think he's a decent young quarterback that'll have a bright future. But, Wilks didn't last but a year. So they throw Wilks out and they follow the Rams' path and hire this young guy, Cliff Kingsbury. He was part of that air raid system. So Kingsbury wants to go out and get a quarterback that can better run his system. He ships Rosen to Miami, and he drafts Kyler Murray with the number 1 overall pick because Kyler Murray has experience in that system. So the air raid system, something you'll see in the Big 12. Oklahoma runs it. West Virginia ran it. Will Greer's a product of that system. And Texas Tech's run it for a lot of years. Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs quarterbacks, come out of that system. So Kyler, but all these guys are part of that same system, same family of coaches, same, group of quarterbacks. They all come from that, call it a family tree, let's say. So what we're going to see a spread offense with the Cardinals. They're going to run a lot of 10 personnel, 1 back, no tight ends. I think in week 1, now they were playing from behind, so it's kind of inflated, but they ran 10 personnel more than any other team in the league, and it wasn't even close. So we're looking at a team that's trying to revolutionize offense in this league, so to speak. Bring that college offense to the NFL. So we're gonna have to be creative on defense to defend these guys. They're gonna spread us out. We got to mix up our coverages. If we play man every play, they're gonna be doing those mesh concepts where they like to run crossing routes, pick guys off, and free guys open that way. They got a nice core of weapons. Christian Kirk's a nice, fast guy, quick, can make plays after the catch. We know Damiere Bird's going to have that 4.3 speed, so we're going to have to match up. And I think, if you watch the Rams game, a bit of training camp in the preseason, Ron's been installing some new packages like that 3-2-6 dime package. He calls it the Bolt package, probably because he took it from the Chargers. So that's something we might want to look out for. I think they probably installed it specifically knowing this game was on their schedule in week 3. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm excited about it. I want to see how Ron adjusts to this offense that the Cardinals are going to throw at us.
I know for a fact they're going to throw some empty backfield at us. They're going to have the single back, 4 receivers wide, no tight ends. If I can ask anything of my head coach, I don't want to fire Ron Rivera. I'm not on that boat yet. I want to see him do what he did in 2013. Save your job. And it's a shame that we're just regular fans that tend to watch a little bit of film. We know what needs to happen. Bring 5. They're going to have 5 offensive linemen trying to block. Bring your 5. Give my guys one-on-one matchups. I trust every single guy on that line, whether it's Burns, Addison, McCoy, KK, or Poe. You give those guys one-on-one matchups, somebody is going to win. Somebody going to win their matchup and put some heat on the quarterback. And that's all I'm asking. Change it up a little bit. Be aggressive. Send the blitz. Shaq Thompson is one of the best linebackers at rushing the passer. Play to his strengths. He loves getting at the quarterback. Send the heat. That's all I'm asking for this week, man. I need Ron to send the heat. I need him to mix it up. I need him to allow Bradbury and Dante to play press, play to their strengths. We got guys with a lot of talent on our defense. Just play to their strengths. And what it tells us, their strengths are letting our corners play press and letting our linebackers and edges and DTs get after it. And that's what I expect this weekend, man. I need to see the front get after the quarterback. We shouldn't just have 3 sacks. You know, that's a good game for anybody else. But I expect this defensive line to have 70 sacks this year. I said that 2 episodes ago. The only way that's going to happen is if Ron gets aggressive with his play calling and lets guys get after it. And that's what I'm expecting this weekend.
Amen, man. Kevin?
Yeah, for me, I'm looking at opportunity for our team to get right on both sides of the balls. Larry, what you just said, I was over here just having like I about caught the football Holy Ghost because I was feeling everything that you said. Put the riverboat in the desert. We need to come with it. I give up a couple of 20-yard plays if I'm seeing Murray on his back literally every other play. I'll take that. You know, physics eventually win. He gonna get tired of getting picked up off that ground. I just want to see it. You know, but the opportunities that I'm looking at here, just looking over some of the numbers, Arizona Cardinals, they're 31st in defense as far as yardage go. They're giving up an average of 458 yards a game. Our offense, which has only scored 27 against the Rams and 14 against the Bucks, this is the perfect opportunity. Cam's not playing, even with Kyle Allen. Let me just go ahead and put it out. Even with Kyle Allen, I still expect this offense to put up over 400 yards.
Hell yeah.
Come this game. I'm not lessening my expectations, but so much. I want what Tampa did. I want Arizona to take that same blueprint that Tampa did with us. You gonna single up with one deep safety, our receivers on outside? All right, bet. I'll take that with Kyle Allen playing. As we know, the key is going to be that offensive line. If you want to put everybody focused on McCaffrey, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody eat. I guarantee you Kyle Allen is not going to have no 26 incompletions like we saw with the injured Cam Newton. And that's not a knock on Cam, so I don't want nobody saying, man, why are you talking about Cam? You talking about Cam's incompletions? No, I'm just saying with a quarterback that can plant his foot, read defenses, and deliver that ball in the right spot, I see us carving up this defense better than a Christmas ham. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward offensively for us to really have a very steady day. I'm looking at over 400 yards of offense opportunity here. I see Kyle Allen possibly having a 3-touchdown day. This is not me just being a homer. This is looking at what little bit of insight I see with the Cardinals. I mean, it's there on the plate. So if we combine that type of offense with Larry's desire for defense, with bringing the heat, ain't nowhere in the world we shouldn't leave with a 35-7 win coming back to Charlotte, this Sunday evening. So the opportunity is there to get right. It's just a matter of if we're going to take advantage of it. I think we will. I'm feeling like these 10 days off with Mr. Tepper presence, making sure that we trend in the right direction, because Rivera, you don't want to go on 3.
Oh, no.
I promise you. Hey, Kev, don't even sugarcoat that. Somebody's going to get fired if things don't change. Like,
real talk.
Don't even sugarcoat it, for real.
Real talk. 0-3 with this talent, go ahead and play games. Go ahead and play games.
Yeah, Foxtrot with it if you want to. I'm gonna leave it at that. But but seriously though, bring the heat, and I hope to God they load up the box and one-on-one us on the outside. Damn. I want to see that. This is a copycat league. Yeah, go ahead, Arizona, please. I'm asking you. Anybody that knows the Cardinals, tell them to do the same thing Tampa Bay did. I want to see that this coming Sunday.
I dare you. I double dare you. And on top of that, CMC's hungry, bro. He's still pissed off about that last play where he possibly could have scored, and obviously he didn't. But a mad Christian McCaffrey is a dangerous Christian McCaffrey, folks. I put money on it. He gonna show his ass against Arizona. He only has 16 carries and is averaging like 2.7 yards a carry against Tampa because they were loading that box. But we weren't shredding that defense like Kyle has a capability of doing. So
hey Tim, I want to hear Will speak, but I want to add to your point if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Levante David actually spoke about Christian McCaffrey on live TV not too long ago, and he said it's important for other players around the league not to underestimate the strength that Christian McCaffrey has. They said he's way stronger than he looks, and he runs through tackles.
Yes.
They said that he has a skill set to. Well, this is Levante Davis speaking, an all-pro linebacker. He said he has the skill set to be the best running back in the league for the next 5, 6, 7 years. He said he didn't know until he played him that Christian McCaffrey is a lot stronger than what he looks. I just want people to get that because the knock on him is he can't run between the tackles. David said he runs through contact on a regular basis, whether it's early in the game, late in the game. He runs through contact well, and he has the explosiveness to run away from you. I just wanted to put that out there. I just wanted some of those haters that Christian has.
Still got it.
There's nothing to hate him. Embrace the guy. When Cam is gone, who do you think the face of your franchise is?
Christian.
It's Christian McCaffrey, my dog. It's Christian McCaffrey. Just embrace it. That's all. I just want the fan base to embrace that. Christian McCaffrey is the future face of this franchise. Accept it and move on.
Right on. Go ahead.
Not bad for a slot receiver, right?
Exactly.
Man.
Exactly.
Kevin Cat's killing me, boy. I tell you. Oh man, put him in a slot. Let's just pick up Le'Veon Bell. You know, let's just do that. Man, shut the up, please. Anyway, go ahead, Will. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, just one thing I noticed from watching the Baltimore Ravens game is how involved their tight ends were. You know, Mark Andrews had over 100 yards receiving. So I think the Cardinals, with Kyle Allen playing, I expect them to come out, try to confuse him, make him go through his progressions, you know, fit the ball in the tight windows in their play zone the same way they defended the Baltimore Ravens, that style. So I can see that, you know, trying to fluster the young quarterback in that regard. You know, they got a pair of good edge rushers, Chandler Jones and Terrell Suggs are two guys to look out for. I really like their corner, Byron Murphy, is a guy who we actually had a visit with in the pre-draft process. You know, I think they're missing Patrick Peterson. He's going to be out with suspension. So they got some talent on that defense. It's just, you know, I think with the way they play offense at that high pace, you know, the defense is just on the field so much and they're going to get worn down. So I think it's going to be an opportunity to just pound it down their throats and establish that running game with that defense being on the field so long. So on our end, we got to force 3 and outs. We got to get to the quarterback, you know, force them to 3 and out and punt and keep their defense on the field and dominate that time of possession. I think if we can do that, we can wear them out and have a good day on offense.
This is ours for the win, folks. This is ours for the win. 0-2. It could be worse. You know, we could have got blown out week 1 and, you know, got blown out again week 2 and lost a couple of players. But, you know, all in all, we're decently healthy for the most part. Going into week 3 and, you know, that mini bye helped some players out. And, you know, I hate to put that on Cam, man, but, you know, this might be a blessing in disguise for him. Maybe he just needs to get fully healthy. Cause you know, he's been working on his throwing. And that's pretty evident. As we talked about earlier, when he had a decent pocket, he was dropping some dimes, folks. That one, I remember that one he put to Olsen. I think a year ago, if he would that same play, Cam was throwing that bad boy high, and Olsen's trying to grab it with his fingertips. Instead, that ball came down right behind the linebacker's head, right behind the linebacker, right into Olsen's hands. Like he didn't even have to put his hands up. Like it came right down to his hip. I mean, it was a pretty ball. You know, and Cam could get more throws like that. When he gets his timing down, when he gets healthy, and obviously when this offensive line starts clicking, that Tampa Bay Bucks line was just God Almighty.
Man, I think with as far as Cam goes, I hope he gets better and all, but it's about time we see what we got with Ron Rivera and Marty Hurney. Because I'm going to say it right now. Cam Newton, for all these years, has masked deficiencies in the way this team was built. He's masked coaching flaws. He's masked flaws in the play calling with Mike Shula for all these years.
Speak on
He's
it.
masked flaws on the defense.
Speak on it.
And, I remember games in 2015, our coaching staff just blew it, and Cam just had to come back and put the team on his shoulders. He had games where he had 300 yards passing, 100 yards rushing, and 5 touchdowns, putting up Madden-type numbers. And, it's like he's making these guys look better at their jobs than what they really are. So I think with Cam out now, this is going to give Tepper an opportunity. What kind of team did Marty Hurney build? Did he build a balanced team that can keep the ship going despite losing a piece of it, no matter how big that piece is? And can Ron Rivera and Norv Turner adjust their coaching strategy to win games despite losing an all-world, once-in-a-lifetime athletically gifted quarterback like Cam Newton? So I think it's a golden opportunity to see, how well is this team built and how good is this coaching staff. Let's put them to the test now. We know what Cam can do. Let's see what Hurney and Ron can do.
Well, folks, it's not much more we can say about this other than stay tuned. I think we're just getting started, to be honest with you. I think we're just getting started. This Cat Pack has an opportunity to shine. We just got to get the ball to him. DJ's still a problem. Kurt's about to have a breakout game. It's coming. It's coming. I don't think we'll be 0-2 much longer. I really don't see us being 0-3, but, stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned.
Me personally, I just want to thank our fans for riding through with us during the off season, during training camp, during preseason, helping steadily push the 4-man rush into new levels. We wanted to let you know that we don't take advantage of the comments, the likes, the debates, the disagreements. We take it all in stride, and we appreciate you not only listening to the 4-man rush, but also telling other Panther fans and even football fans about the 4-man rush. So I definitely want to say from the bottom heart of each and every one of us here at the 4-man rush, we want to thank you guys and, keep supporting us. Check us out on the website, the4manrush.com, and check us out on all of our social media, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, podcasts on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean. Get it all. We want you to enjoy this ride with us because we're going to make it worth your time. Our goal is to be the number one source for accurate, detailed, logical Panther news. So thank you for sticking with us.
I think Will hit it on the head, man. Pressure's on the coaching staff. You're either going to get it done or you out of here. It's very, very important that Ron Rivera and Marty Hurney do what they're supposed to do. We see it all the time. If you think back a few years ago, Tom Brady was the heart and soul of the Patriots. But what did he do? He tore his ACL. Matt Castle had to come in and win them some football games. I don't care if it's Kyle Allen, Will Greer, whoever. If Cam got to miss time, we should still be able to win football games. Will has said this multiple times. This is the most talented roster Ron Rivera has ever had.
Yeah.
Ever had.
Facts.
So put it together. We can't let our quarterback going down just be like, oh, it's over with. Let's blow it up. Let's go get a new quarterback. Let's go get a new coach. No. We only 0-2. The last time we went 0-2, we went 12-4. Won our division. You know what I'm saying? So this is important, man. I know this is like a playoff game to us. Even though it's Arizona, this is a playoff game to us. This is a must-win game. This is going to decide how many fans will be in the seats for the rest of the year. We got to win this game, and if we do the things that we've observed that we want to see happen, if we do those things the correct way, we're going to win this game. And, well, you guys haven't noticed it, but Will in the chat has been saying every day, I just want to get to 1-2.
Yeah, that's it.
Let us get to 1-2. Let us get to 1-2. Let us get to 1-2. He just focused on what's in front of him, and that's what's in front of us. And that's what I got to see that. I got to see us still have a hold on a winning culture. We've established a winning culture here in Carolina, but for a lot of fans, it seems like we're losing it. Let's sustain that. Let's just make sure we still have a winning culture. And that starts by winning in Arizona on Sunday at 4:00, which is pretty much a primetime game.
Yeah.
It's only 2 games played at 4:00 Eastern time, man. We one of them. So let's take advantage of it.
All right. So, Panther fans, football fans, thanks again for checking out 4-Man Rush Podcast. I'm your host, Timmy V.O., with Larry, Kevin, and Will. Unfortunately, Monty and some of the other fellas weren't able to join us, but we'll catch up on it next time. Hopefully, we'll be 1-2 when we can talk about what the Panthers did to smack the Cardinals in the mouth or in the beak, how you want to look at it. As Kevin mentioned, check out our website at the 4manrush.com. You can also check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course our podcast can be enjoyed whether you're listening on Podbean, or listen to it on Facebook, listen to it on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. Wherever you go, you can get a hold of the 4-Man Rush and catch up with Carolina Panther news daily. Right on. Again, thanks so much for listening to the 4-Man Rush. We will catch you next time. Have a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, and as always, keep pounding.
But really, I'm just taking time to really let it breathe. So baby, just chill. She love it. We out in public and we can just chill with my partners, and we can go back to my crib and just chill under covers and do we call me and you lovers.
The 4-Man Rush is brought to you by the love and respect of and for the Carolina Panthers and Carolina Panther fans everywhere. Keep pounding. The 4-Man Rush is a non-affiliate of the Carolina Panther organization. All thoughts, assessments, and content of this podcast is directly related to the 4-Man Rush exclusively. Thank you.